in the news is an article that was already covered last week, Friday. And I really had to look into what was discussed in Parliament. And President Cyril Ramaphosa making a statement around vaccines not being forced on the citizens of South Africa. However, he said the word but afterwards. And I really wanted to understand what the word but means, because I understand that when you say something and you use the word but afterwards, that everything you said before means nothing, and everything you say after actually holds more weight. And in this article, with the headline, Ramaphosa says employees may refuse vaccination on medical and constitutional grounds. It starts to become clear what various groupings in Parliament wants to do. And the IFP has come out strong in trying to force their hand on the president. And I found this very interesting, and it's important that the people of South Africa understands the position of the IFP with regards to freedom. President Cyril Ramaphosa says mandatory COVID-19 vaccination must be based on respect. Now, that can be a debate on its own, and that debate can carry on indefinitely depending on the people involved in the debate. According to the president, workers may refuse vaccination on medical and constitutional grounds. On Friday, Ramaphosa told the National Assembly more needed to be done to educate hesitant South Africans on COVID-19 vaccines. This after many people have actually received notices that they are being fired for not taking the vaccine. President Cyril Ramaphosa has said the implementation of mandatory COVID-19 vaccination must be based on mutual respect and the rights of people. When you mandate something, how does rights or mutual respect come into it? The two cannot work with each other. So you already have a contradiction in terms. Ramaphosa also said he believed employees may refuse vaccination on medical and constitutional grounds. So this is what he believes. But what does that mean for you, the employee? If necessary, Ramaphosa said steps should be taken to responsibly accommodate workers who do not want to be vaccinated, including allowing those who can to continue work from home. Now, this becomes a massive debate as well. What if the employer wants you to be at the office, even when you could be at home, because they want you to be vaccinated? Ramaphosa answered questions from lawmakers in the National Assembly on Friday and responded to the issue of mandatory vaccination, which means that this is being pushed from all over right now. The implementation of any mandatory vaccination policies must in the end be based on mutual respect. How does mandate and mutual respect once again come together? Which is the respect of the rights of the people, which achieve the balance between public health imperatives, the constitutional right of employees, and the efficient operation of the employer's business. Now, that is quite a delicate balance that needs to be struck, he said. You cannot balance the two. It's one or the other. It's literally two heads running at each other, colliding. So it's the same as individual liberty and the greater good ideology. The two cannot be married together. It's just impossible. Ramaphosa said, no one should be forced to be vaccinated. Instead, we need to use the available scientific evidence to encourage people to be vaccinated to protect themselves, but also to protect people around them. I have said on previous occasions that open public debate should be held in public forums where people from government, whoever they choose, scientists, bring evidence before people that are vaccine hesitant and show them why they should be vaccinated. Bring the evidence. Prove it to them. I agree with you, President Cyril Ramaphosa, but do it in an open public forum if you want to get the people's support. Because if you have done everything that you've done to the country up until now, you should have ample evidence to prove your case. And if you do not, you're in deep trouble. He also said at the same time, occupational health and safety laws require a safe working environment. Now, that is a contradiction in terms again. This situation poses challenges for employees who want to keep their workers safe from COVID-19 while respecting the rights of those who don't want to be vaccinated, Ramaphosa said. At a press briefing preceding Ramaphosa's session in the National Assembly on Friday, Health Minister Joe Pala said the government's position on mandatory vaccination is very clear. He said at the moment the government's priority was not to legislate mandatory vaccination. He said the government will be observing the discussion in the private sector. So they're leaving it up to the private sector to battle it out, go to court, have people fired, which has already happened. This is madness. Absolute madness. Our priority is to mobilize people to come forward voluntarily and take the vaccine, said Fala. Well, that hasn't worked out so far because only 25% of adults have been vaccinated. Just under 1/4 of the South African adult population has had at least one vaccine jab. This equates to just under 10 million individuals. About 3.6 million people were fully vaccinated, said Fala. ACDP leader Kenneth Meshu said the right to vaccinate or not has been taken away from totalitarian governments. Emerging dictators are trying to force people to take vaccines they don't want. This must be resisted by the people of the world, he said. But yeah, the IFP MP Naren Singh said more needed to be done to convince South Africans to get vaccinated. And he said, not convince, listen to what he says. Mr. President, I want to submit that words like encourage, mutual respect really don't resonate with those that are anti-vaxxers, and we have to do more. We really have to do more than encourage and ask for mutual respect, Honorable President. I'm a law-abiding citizen, I'm a God-fearing man, but when legal people and religious people get involved in a debate which centers around human life, when one loses siblings and friends and relatives in front of you, young people, this debate should take another dimension, he said. What dimension do you want, Mr. Singh? Do you want to force people to do things? Do you want to take their freedoms away? What do you really believe? So there it is, Mr. Singh. Go and speak to him. He wants the president to take actions, different actions. Maybe he should say exactly what it is that he wants to do with to people's freedom. Maybe he should make it clear. And this is going to cause havoc in society, because when you want to force things on people, people go to war. And this is not something we want. We want to avoid that at all cost. So be very careful what you ask for. Thank you very much. Till the next video.